Hi everyone, welcome to Ignite Entrepreneurs. My name is Daniel Akinshola, and Ignite Entrepreneurs brings Black business people in Kamloops to talk about their business, their journey, their story, so that we can learn a little bit from them, and people who want to start their business can learn from them too. Today we have a very important person in Kamloops. I'll read a little bit of his bio so you have an idea, and then you get to meet him later. His name is Enoch. That's the name he was given, Enoch Dugbatey. The midwife who helped his mom give birth to him at home chose the name randomly. We don't know the reason behind it, but we believe there's no coincidence. He was always meant to be called Enoch. He grew up in a village in Ghana where there was no running water, no electricity, no hospitals. He learned early in life to work hard for everything and to be grateful for little things. The family had the opportunity to migrate to Canada in 2006 when he was 18. He worked odd jobs, went to school, and graduated from accounting at the University of Lethbridge in 2017. He started his business in Kamloops in 2020, and it's been super rewarding ever since. If you know, you know. But I'll let you know, I'll let you meet him. His name is Mr. Enoch. We call him Dede popularly, but you're welcome to the show, Mr. Enoch.
Yeah,
thank you so much for coming.
Sir. Thank you.
So tell us about your business.
The name actually Dede Enterprises. My mom has been very, what's it called? My mom has seen something in me from an early age. Since we moved to Canada, she's always been encouraging me to start an African business. At the time, I had no money. I was even a student at the time, so I don't know what she saw in me that she wanted me to start a business, but she's been always encouraging me to start an African business. So when the opportunity finally came to start the business, I decided to name the business after my mom. So Dede is my mom, actually. And then my first daughter, I named my first daughter after my mom, Dede. So it's my mom and my first daughter. I named the business after.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah,
There's a significance of names. I can see the importance of names in the family bonds.
Yeah.
Is that a Ghanaian thing, or spiritual, or religious?
I think it's more cultural. Like in my dad's tribe, Dede is the firstborn. Like I believe female firstborn. In my mom's tribe, I don't know how my mom got the Dede from, but it's not a known name in my mom's tribe, so I don't know how she got the Dede name. Yeah.
What does Dede mean?
I think in my dad's tribe, the firstborn daughter, which is my
Okay. In the east in Nigeria, they call them, I think it's Ada.
Oh,
the first daughter. Interesting. There's a lot of significance with African names. So, which tribe is your dad and mom from?
My dad is from the Ga tribe.
Okay.
So the Ga tribe, I believe in history class in Ghana, they teach us that the Gas come from the Igbos in Nigeria. Apparently, during they immigrated from Nigeria from the Igbos.
Okay.
So I don't. Is Ada an Igbo name or is it Yoruba?
It's Igbo.
That's Igbo, right?
Yeah.
So maybe there's a lot of similarities between the Igbos and the Gas, and
Interesting.
So they live in the Accra area of Ghana. You know I don't know how well you know Ghana.
Not so
Accra,
much.
Okay. Yeah. So that's where the Ga tribe, they live in the south of. Southern part of Ghana, mainly the the greater Accra region, the capital of Ghana.
That's a capital. How about your mom? Which tribe is she from?
Yeah, my mom, she's not from a very well-known tribe, but they are called, actually my mom's tribe is actually She's from the Akan tribe, which is the biggest tribe in Ghana. I don't know if you heard of the Ashantis.
Yes.
The Ashantis, and then Fantis. I don't know if you ever heard of the
I've heard of them,
Fantis. And yeah, so my mom, she's from, even though she's an Akan, she's, I don't know how to describe it, but she's not a Fanti and she's not a Akan. She's a Kuyapim. It's a little slightly different in the dialect that they speak, but we can all understand each other. Yeah,
That's
so
nice.
she's Equiapim. Yeah, you probably don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I do. I'm just thinking how blessed you are to have a cross pollination of cultures, and because it brings about more wisdom,
100%.
brings about more tradition, more culture,
100%.
and you're accepted in both places.
Yeah,
Unlike some other countries, oh no, you're from there, but you're accepted. That's great. So when you were growing up, apart from what your mom told you, was there anyone who was very inspirational to you that you were looking up to, that was like a role model for you when you were a child?
Yeah, actually, my primary school teacher, he made the difference in my life. Like, I owe everything to that man. Yeah. Growing up in the village, I mean, I didn't really get the chance to go to good schools. And when we finally moved to Accra, that's when I first went to, a private school. Back home, private schools are a little bit better than the public schools, know. So in the private school that I went to, my primary school teacher, I wasn't the smartest. I don't know about Nigeria, but in Ghana, at the end of the term, we will grade everybody, you know what I mean? Yeah. From first to last, And I was if the class is of, like, say, 45 people in the class, I would be maybe around like 39, 40,
Fair enough.
I wasn't the last one. And then I remember one time, I don't know, we do this a lot in Ghana. I don't know about Nigeria, but we call it dictation, spelling, So we had a spelling exam, spelling test, whatever. And I got 10 out of 10. That was the first time. But actually I didn't. I got 9 out of 10.
Okay.
But the teacher gave me 10 out of 10. I got one wrong, development. I remember that day. I spelled development DEVELOPEMENT. There's no E after the P. But the teacher still gave it as correct,
Yeah.
So that changed something in me. The first time I got 10 out of 10, it gave me so much hope, so much. I was like, for some reason, I always wanted to get 10 out of 10 ever since then. Like, I didn't want to look back anymore. And I know the teacher knew I got it wrong. I don't know the reason behind it, but that teacher really inspired me so much. He gave me so much hope. And since that day, I never looked back again.
That's great.
So that end of the semester, I went from being one of the last, I think I was 10th in the class, and then the following semester, I was like 3rd, and then I never looked back. And I was always like first, second, third student, like always, ever since. And it was that moment that I got 10 out of 10, that it changed everything about me.
It's interesting because that's what teachers should do. Teachers should not fail, just, teachers should inspire.
100%.
And you can see the effect of that inspiration. It just shoots you up.
Oh, yeah.
Even parents should inspire as well.
100%.
Yeah. Your childhood, were you very playful, mischievous, or just quiet?
Oh, I've slowed down, man. Like, I was hyperactive. Like, if I was born in Canada, they'll probably diagnose me with something. They'll probably be like,
he's too energetic.
Yeah, too much. I had too much energy. Like, as a kid, I was too much. Everywhere I went to, and I got criticized a lot, and it didn't make sense to me because, as far as I was concerned, I didn't do anything wrong. I just had so much energy as a kid, you know what I mean? Which is no fault of my own, you know? I was super energetic everywhere I go. My parents, everybody would go to bed, and I would still be awake. I couldn't sleep.
Wow.
My sleep, yeah. So much energy. And, you know, like you said, back home sometimes, the thing with Africa, sometimes we have to be able to understand, you know, and don't overly criticize people for, you know. So that's sometimes, when I look back, and I'm like, you know, the teachers, they call me a bad boy, and I wasn't a bad boy, you know, like, I mean, growing up in my schools, and my parents sometimes, amazing parents, by the way, but you know, back home, they'll beat you for the slightest, you know.
That's
but
interesting.
I was just a kid with so much energy. I was super energetic, you know. So they called me troublesome because I wasn't troublesome, but I was just too much for them, I guess.
How about sports? Which sports did you choose when you were young?
You know, by default, football. Soccer is like, you know, by default. So, you know, after school, we'll play soccer on the street, and
Which number or position were you on the pitch?
I mostly played as a striker, never like.
Because you have the energy.
I was.
When you started business in Kamloops, was it all like green light, everything was easy and okay, or did you face some challenges?
Actually, so 2020, it was during COVID. So my wife's sister, who's Mary, she was a student here at TRU, but during COVID, the lockdown, so I think a lot of the students left campus, right? I don't think there was school during the lockdowns, So she came back to Calgary, and then one time we're just walking around. We went for a walk, me and my wife's sister, I'm talking about, right? So she was a student here. She came to Calgary during the lockdowns, right? She came to visit us at home in Calgary. And we decided I decided that, like, I had so much energy sometimes that sometimes I want to go out and burn off the energy, you know? So that day I was home full of energy, and I'm like, yo, I need to get out. I need to go burn some energy. So she decided to come with me, and we went out going for a walk, and then she's like, yo, Enoch, being in Kamloops, whenever we need groceries, we have to travel all the way to Vancouver. She's like, it would be a good idea to start an African shop here if you think you can do it. Actually, it's just like an African shop in a restaurant if you think you can do it. And then I remembered my mom has always been telling me about African shops. So I don't know, it just felt like it was meant to be. So I grabbed that idea. I came, after the walk, we both came home. I told my wife, I'm like, hey, this is what Mary said we should do, African shop in Kamloops. What do you think? And my wife is very supportive of everything I say. You know, the good thing with my wife is she believes in me. You know, like when I met her, she said I was different because the things I spoke about, I wasn't the typical guys that talked about like maybe like Gucci and all that type. Like when I met my wife, I talked about changing the world and you know what I mean? So she believes in me a lot. So when we came home and we told her about the idea of opening a shop and restaurant, she was like, yo, I believe in you. If this is what you think you can do, let's go for it. You know? So I called my mom quickly. I told my mom, like, yo, I know you've been telling me to open a shop, you know? Like, Mary just gave us this idea about opening a shop in Kamloops. My mom was very excited. My mom, you know, encouraged me. And then decided to come to Kamloops, do some research about Kamloops. At the time, I knew nothing about Kamloops. I've never been here. So I came to Kamloops, and then I drove around Kamloops. Every black person I would see, I will mark it down. I think first time I got about 20 black people walking around. It wasn't bad. I think I went back to Calgary, came back again, went to the university. Every black person I met, I spoke to them. I'll be like, hey, I'm new here. where can I go get my groceries, African groceries? And then they'll be like, oh, there's no African shop here. We'll have to go to Vancouver. And I'll be like, don't you think it's about time to have a shop here? And then most of the people were like, yeah, it's about time. We need a shop here in Kamloops. So I did a lot of research, and then I was like, okay, I think it would be a good idea. And then I know Richard, the barber.
Richard the barber, yeah?
Richard the barber is one guy that I was introduced to in the initial stages. So I drove from Calgary, came to see Richard. I was like, yo, I heard you're the mayor of Kamloops.
I think he is.
Yeah, he is. I'm like, this is my idea. I don't usually want to discuss it with people, but people say, Mary said, if I want to do anything in Kamloops, you're the guy to talk to. So you know everybody, and
Yeah.
So I told Richard, I'm like, hey, privacy, like I don't want this to go out. I'm trusting you, but this is what I want to do in Kamloops. What do you think? And Richard was very supportive. He really supported the idea. I think Richard is actually one person I owe a lot to Richard, because if Richard had said, don't do it, Kamloops is not good, I probably wouldn't have come back.
True.
Because everybody said, like I spoke to Mary, and then Mary's friend in Calgary, and another friend that I spoke to said, Richard is the guy. Go see him, talk to him, get his feedback. So I think if Richard had been like, I don't think there's enough people in Kamloops, probably this idea would have
Hands
gone.
off.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Richard was so supportive. He's like, yo, let's do it.
That's good. That's good. I've heard a lot about him. There was a lady that came on the show and talked about the same thing you talked about, how supportive he is. What do you think is the role of fellow people in community that support each other? Do you really feel it's important for us to do that?
Very important. Like without, so let me take you back to Calgary. When I first got that idea to come to Kamloops and open a business, I have a family friend in Calgary who also owns an African shop. So I went to go see him also to get more insight about the African business, and he also encouraged me also. So encouraging each other is so important, not bringing each other down. It's because, man, had that man in Calgary be like, oh, at the time I was 30 years old when I opened the business, had the man be like, because all the African shops, it was all like 50-something-year-olds doing the business. And it was mostly dominated by women. So had that man be like, you're a young guy, 30, I don't think you'll be able to do it, probably would have backed off. So the man really encouraged me in Calgary. And then when I came here, Richard also encouraged me a lot. So I think I owe this to both of them. The man is in Calgary. His name is Dugbatey. He really, really encouraged me to do this business. Nice. So as a community, I think this is what we can do to support each other. When somebody has a goal, when somebody want to do something, let's all push the person. You know what I mean? Because sometimes that's all we need. Sometimes we just need a little bit of push. And it's not about money, even about words, and words are so important, So so me, I know how words, like people like Richard and people like the elder boy in Calgary, just by encouraging me and telling me I can do it, they can, it really helped me to get to where I am today.
I'm not forgetting the teacher.
That teacher.
Were there times that you felt, maybe I made a mistake, maybe I shouldn't do this, maybe I should stop? Do you ever get to that point, or has it just been rosy?
It's been good, to be honest. It's been very good. I don't think there's ever been a time where I've wanted to give up, but that's because I am not the type of person to easily give up. I'm not really that religious type, even though I was born in Ghana, and I believe in God. And my dad is actually a preacher, but I'm not really that very religious type, that church going type of person. I've always, I saw God different then my parents saw God, and I saw God as living in me, living in you, living in all of us. So whenever I'm stuck, I try to get inspiration from within me, because I know God is within me.
Yeah.
God is not outward. You know what I mean? So, and it's really helped me a lot, because I'm not out there seeking for God outside. I'm seeking for God within
On
me.
the inside.
Inside.
Yeah, and it helps you appreciate other people because they also have God inside them.
100%.
Yeah, I think that's more spiritual than being religious.
100%.
When you're spiritual, you connect more to those kind of
100%.
essence. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah,
That's
so
great.
it's really helped me throughout my business. So, yeah, there's been times where financially it takes a lot of money, for sure. So, and I wasn't, this whole thing, like, I believe in divine, destiny. I don't know if I want to call it, although I still believe we create our own destiny. But when this business started, I didn't have a lot of money. My wife and I had saved some money, and we had some lines of credits, and then we have some credit cards. And in my first 2 years, I maxed out everything just to get a business going. So that's one area that people didn't see. You know what I mean? And the people in Kamloops thought I was making all the money in the world, and you know what I mean? But I maxed out everything to support the business.
So you had that vision.
Oh yeah, I believed in it.
Yeah. What's the importance of vision in entrepreneurship?
I think if you don't have vision, you don't know where you're going. You know what I mean? Yeah, I saw myself honestly controlling the whole of BC. Yeah, and I still believe in that. Actually, what slowed me down is the kids. Because when I came into business, we had 1 kid.
Okay.
And now we have 5.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But my vision was not just Kamloops, BC, like Vancouver, everywhere.
Yeah.
And I believed in what I do. I truly believe in what I do. I believe in myself because I know God lives in me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but then the kids all came. My wife had triplets, by the way. So
yeah. I was like, wow, you've been busy.
Yeah.
But that's good because you have a whole family behind you, and they are also growing into the business, and this is beautiful. It's a beautiful story. Okay, we've got to the point in the show where we'll ask you for 5 principles or values or tips, anything that kept you going through all these years of business. 5 things you can share with us.
I think the most important, in my opinion, the most important was when I went to Vancouver. My first year in business, I went to Vancouver, spoke to the African shop business owners in Vancouver. And one lady, a Ghanaian lady, her name is Comfort. She now runs the Taste of Africa. It's a restaurant in Surrey. So she said, hey, this business that you're doing, let your yes be yes. She's like, never ever lose that integrity. She's like, never cheat the customer. Like me growing up, I've always been a fair guy. But that lady telling me that, it emphasized what I believe in, being honest, being fair to your customers, you know. The lady is like, if you tell a customer something is 1 pound, when they put it on the scale, it has to be minimum 1 pound.
Yeah.
Just like, if you want to do this business for long, because apparently some business owners sometimes cheat, sometimes I don't know about. It's just like, if it's 1 pound, it has to be 1 pound.
Integrity.
It's just like, that's how, if you want to be in this business for long, do not let the people lose the trust in you. So I really it became like, I came to Kamloops, I told all my staff, I'm like, hey, even if it's 0.9999 and you don't have a little piece to make it a pound, don't put it on the shelf. We got to make sure that people trust us, you know. So integrity is so important to us, and then honesty is so important, man. And I've been able to the thing with Kamloops is a lot of people come here and go. So most of the people I started the business with left Kamloops. There's a lot more newer people. The newer people don't really know me as much. But the older people I started the business with, brother, if I tell them this is Coca-Cola, they will drink it. They will believe me.
Yeah.
I was able to build like a very trustworthy relationship with them. They never doubted me. Yeah.
Great.
Like a lot of the newer people that came, I don't have as much relationship with them. Like I don't come to the shop like I used to.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, when I opened it, I was always there in the beginning.
I remember when I came then 23, it was you I met.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were the owner. I was like, okay, oh, you are.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice to get to know the owner of the business.
Yeah,
Builds
yeah.
that bond. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
And humility is another thing. I didn't want to create this impression that I've made so much money and I've made it because we are growing, you know what I mean? And even Bill Gates hasn't made it yet. He's still like...
He's still working.
You know, working, you know what I mean? So being humble is another thing. And that I learned it from growing up in Ghana, growing up in a village. You know, my dad was a humble man. You know, getting up every Sundays and going to church and, you know. So that I learned that part from home.
Good.
So that never left me. So even when I started the business, like, trust me, my brother, I treat even the little kid the same as I treat the, I'll bow down to the kid the same way I'll bow down to the, you know, I respect everybody.
That's great.
And I thought it was very important for me, especially like for like the African community. Sometimes people tend to talk, people tend to gossip. You know our community. You know, so I didn't want to create a bad impression about me and myself and my business. Yeah. So
that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. So first one is integrity.
Integrity.
Second one is humility.
Yeah.
Very important.
And then respecting every. Third one is respect.
The third one is respect. Yeah.
The fourth one I would say, honestly, is not taking anything personal. Running a business, man. Try your best. It might not seem like much, but the type of people you meet every single day, you know, people are frustrated. Yeah. People are stressed. Yeah. People sometimes are not always in a smiling mood. Yeah. And so you just got to understand that, you know, people may speak to you arrogantly. Yeah. So you just got to make sure, you know, understand that, hey, it's nothing personal. You know what I mean? Don't take nothing home. You know what I mean? Just if they come, be humble, be respectful, treat them as nice as you can be. And when you go home, just don't take it personal, you know what I mean?
Let it go.
Sometimes some people will cross all boundaries and, you know what I mean?
They get into your skin and true. That's a very important one.
And because it's a small community, if you start taking things personal, man, you'll probably lose all the customers, you know? True. It's a very small community, and if you're to piss this person off, piss that person off, and people talk, and you lose, you know.
You lose a lot of,
I don't take nothing personal in what I do. I try my best. I think the only time that something really got to me, and it took me quite a while to get over it, was one customer who I respect a lot, by the way, came to buy a case of malt. Yeah. And I think at the time I was selling it for 45. Yeah. I didn't have a direct supplier at the time. Yeah. I was buying it from a secondary person. Yep. So I think I got it for $40. Yep. From Toronto. Yep. Shipped it from Toronto to Calgary, and sold it to Kamloops, Toronto to Kamloops, and sold it for $45. Okay. So I wasn't making pretty much nothing on it, you know. So the one customer who I respect a lot comes in, asks me for price for a case of malt. I said 45, and she looked at me and said, "Why is your tin so expensive?" And I think that's the one thing that really got to me. For about 3 months, I couldn't let it go. It pained me because, like I said, I ship it. It cost me $40. Ship it all the way from Toronto to Kamloops and sold it for 45. after my transportation, and I was probably not even making anything on
it
it.
was a loss, yeah.
You know, and that's the only time that I took something so personal, and for about 3 months I couldn't let it go. I love the customer, but when they come in, I couldn't even smile with them because that thing they said hurt me so much. I was like, what do they want me to do? You know? So not taking anything personal is so important in business, especially in a small community like this where we all know each other and you know what I mean?
Yeah. So how did you get over that after 3 months?
Honestly, man, it took me so long to get over it. Like, she'll come to the shop, and even though I try my best to smile, like inside me, I was like, ah. And there's somebody that I saw them to be rich, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, come on, like, even the people that, and that's something I learned. And this is why not discriminating is the best way to treat people.
Yeah.
Because the ones you underestimate is the ones that will come, buy the things, won't give you any trouble, pay for it and leave. The ones that you think, oh, they got money, and those, don't even, you know, so treat everybody the same, you know, and treat people well, because the ones that you least expect will be the ones that will actually come in and surprise you. You know what I mean? You met my Bright, right?
Yeah.
Bright, you know?
Yeah.
Bright is one guy that actually surprised me a lot. You know, Bright comes to Canada brand new. His second day in Canada, he comes to the shop, and Bright grabs a cart, and he's picking and picking and picking. I'm thinking in my mind, this guy, does he know that like these things are not cheap, you know? He just keep picking and picking and everything. Like Bright is buying everything in the shop. So I've never seen the guy before, so I know the guy is new. And I know a lot of the new people, the moment I tell them the price,
They're like, okay.
they're like, oh.
Okay, thank
They
you.
start converting to Naira.
True.
So Bright comes in and he's just picking everything. And I'm thinking, yo, this guy, like, you know, so he comes to the counter and he takes everything out, I think over $400. And I tell Bright the price, and it was actually me and my staff, Belinda, and we're both talking in Ghana language. I was like, oh, this guy
has no information.
So he comes, we tell him, you know, we checked in the goods, and we tell him the price, I think close to $500. Bright just take out his card, pays, doesn't say a word. So he really surprised me. I thought he was gonna be like,
Young chap.
you know.
Yeah.
So after that, I was like, oh, can I offer you a ride? I was like, how are you getting home? He's like, I'm gonna take a taxi. And I'm like, oh no, don't worry.
For what you bought, you deserve it, right? That's another smart move.
Yeah. And that's something that I did a lot in Kamloops. Like, I don't do that as much anymore. But in the beginning, my brother, anybody, like, sometimes you don't even have to buy anything. When I look at your situation, and some people you have to go all the way to the west side, and it was my wife and I running the shop. So sometimes I'll be like, you know what, just watch the shop, I'll go drop them. That's something that I didn't mind doing at all.
So you were building relationships.
Oh yeah. Builder is so important, you know. So yeah, I dropped Bright home that day. We spoke, and that's how Bright became a very good friend of mine, and became my manager, and yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful. It's a great story.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So what is your fifth? I'm curious to know. What's your fifth?
Visionary. You have to believe in what you're doing.
Have a
you know
vision,
what I mean?
yeah.
If you're not a visionary person, honestly, you're just gonna settle for less, and you know. Because when I came to Kamloops, honestly, most people didn't see the vision. Because apparently, before I came, some guys had tried to do it, and they didn't do as well. So most people actually thought I was going to close down in like 3 months, 4 months.
They were waiting for the downfall.
They were actually waiting. A guy actually came to me and said, yo, Mr. Dede, I'm going to be honest with you. We all thought you were going to shut down after 3 months or 4 months, you know. So, but I believe in the vision. I really believed in it. And,
vision is strong.
But I also got a lot of help. That's the thing. I want to give credit to a lot of people, man. Like without them, I wouldn't be too excited. So yeah, you may have the vision and all of that, but also like the people around you. Yeah. I got a lot of help. The Elder Boahi in Calgary, Richard, and then there's a lady in Edmonton, and this is where God comes in for me. Like I said, I didn't have the most money. I maxed out all my credit cards to support the business. My lines of credit, I maxed everything out just to keep the business going. And then God being so good, the man in Calgary that I said motivated me, he introduces me to a lady in Edmonton that have a shop.
Yeah.
So I went to go meet the lady, and the lady just don't know me from nowhere. But I don't know, she just fell in love with my idea, with everything I wanted to do. And she just kept supporting me with everything. Like, she will send me all the good meat I need, all the everything. Like, honestly, she'll send me the gari, the pig milk, everything I needed. She helped me in at least $100,000 of goods.
Wow.
And she never asked me for a dime. She was like, just go ahead, build your business, build it. And after you build your business, come pay me back. And I don't know this lady from nowhere.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So it looks like when you're good to people, destiny or life or posterity, the universe just provides support for you.
The universe does,
Yeah.
you know. It actually takes me back to another story in Ghana. We've experienced hard times in Ghana, you know. And I've never been a selfish person, you know. And I remember one time in Ghana, actually one of my proudest moments is when, for about 2 years, we became homeless. All of us, my mom, my dad, we were all living on the streets of Accra. We've experienced a lot of hard times, you know. And I was on the streets of Accra. I sold handkerchiefs. I don't know if you know handkerchiefs.
Yeah.
You know, I sold handkerchiefs on the streets of Accra. At the time I was a young boy, and I remember there was another guy on the street. I forgot what his name is, but I was homeless. He was homeless, but I never thought about me. Well, I wasn't. It's like whenever I had food, I want to go give it to the guy. You know what I mean? Because even though I was homeless, I saw myself as lucky because I had my mom there, I had my dad, I had my siblings. We were all hustling to get on the streets. Yeah. But that guy was alone. No mom, no dad. And I think he had lost, 2 fingers. And I took that guy as a brother. Throughout the street. He was like somebody that I protected him. And that's actually one of the proudest moments of my life when I look back. And I'm thinking most people would have been like, oh, we're both homeless. Like, I mean, I'm going to fend for myself. Yeah. Like, I mean, we're all struggling. I mean, why care about another person when I'm also struggling, you know? So like you said, I think the universe, all the good that we try to do, and I'm not saying I'm good, Brad. I'm not saying I'm good, you know what I mean? But all the little things that we try to do, it counts. Yeah. It counts, 100%. 100%.
Mr. Dede, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Viewers, this has been a packed episode. This is a man with a heart of gold. Business is not just about making money, making profits. It's about building relationships. And from what he has said on this show, it's clear. It's clear that he has a heart for not just the business, but the people that come to do. I mean, how many business people would take customers home after buying stuff? You know, so there's a lot to learn from this episode. Integrity, honesty, have faith, believe in yourself, have a vision, have respect. But most of all, build a relationship with those people that come and do business with you. Business is all about solving problems. And sometimes you solve it creatively, sometimes you solve it with your heart. Thank you for watching this show, and thank you to our guests for coming to make this show special today. Make it fantastic. Thank you for spending time with us. This is Ignite Entrepreneurs. We always bring you the best of the best of the best of the best. people in business in Kamloops, for you to learn. And one day we want you to be on this show to talk about your business. Thanks for watching. Watch out for the next episode. Take care. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Great.